The sugar diet. Just like you, I'm watching in awe how sugar, a drug that has been proven to be more addictive than cocaine and heroin, has collectively hijacked the critical thinking abilities of the masses. It's quite remarkable to watch the hijacked addict's brain play out at such a grand scale. Hi, I'm Dr. Zaldivar, and I quit my nutrition professor jobs at the University of Miami, the American College of Sports Medicine, and elsewhere so I could reach a wider audience online. Some influencers have started promoting the sugar diet as a way to quickly lose body fat. They call it the sugar diet or the sugar fast, and it's currently blowing up online. Any content that has to do with the sugar diet or the sugar fasting method is going viral. And as much as any addict's brain wishes that their drug of choice is somehow good for them, myself included, the fact remains that sugar is a drug. It has been proven to be far more addictive than cocaine and heroin, and even at higher concentrations of those harder drugs, we can see that sugar is even more addictive. The idea behind it is when you critically reduce fat intake and you just eat a lot of pure sugar without accompanying fat, and you keep protein very, very limited because you're only eating 3 to 4 ounces, very small amounts of lean protein for dinner, and the rest of the day is pure sugar. When you do that, it's similar to the Kempner diet or the rice diet. It ends up triggering FGF21, which is a protein or a peptide, which is a small protein secreted by the liver. And FGF21 increases fat burning, speeds up the metabolism, and leads to fast, rapid weight loss. When they inject FGF21 in rats, they lose weight very quickly. For those of you who are new to this, the meal plan is basically eating fruits, fruit juices, and a lot of people are adding in honey, pure cane sugar, sorbet ice cream because it doesn't have the fat from the dairy, and then they'll have a little bit of lean protein at night, very, very small amount with maybe some very low carb veggies. Also, it's been shown that FGF21 stimulation can reverse insulin resistance and fatty liver disease. And so when you hear that, you get very excited. Wait a second, I can eat sugar and I don't have to employ any kind of discipline. And at the same time, I'm gonna lose weight a lot, and I'm going to reverse my insulin resistance and drop my blood sugars and heal my fatty liver. Sign me up. But here's what they're not telling you. FGF21 is a stress hormone. It is secreted when you are very stressed. And there are different types of stress. You can activate FGF21 in good ways using hormetic stressors. Those are good types of stress, like exercise, or you can get it from being on a micronutrient and nutrient poor diet like the sugar diet or the sugar fast. Exercise can trigger FGF21, and the more intense the exercise, the greater the increase in FGF21. But what's far more important to realize is that over a long period of time, exercise sensitizes your receptors to FGF21, which is really the ultimate thing that we're after. It's not so much about having constant elevations in FGF21, but instead we want to be sensitive to FGF21. On the sugar diet, that's not going to happen, whereas when you do it with exercise, you are going to restore FGF21 sensitivity. And so chronic exercisers and athletes, they will have low levels of FGF21, but high sensitivity to FGF21. And that's exactly what I think we should be looking for, because we know that high chronic levels of FGF21 is one of the most sensitive ways to detect high risk for stroke and heart disease. And so if you're constantly spiking FGF21 by eating sugar all day long, you're constantly elevating this atherogenic or heart disease promoting FGF21. Knowing what I know about food addiction and the magnitude of it and how much people are going to fight for their denial till the end, I predict that the sugar diet is going to be here for a very, very long time. Brace yourselves, because the food companies are going to get a whiff of this really, really quickly, and I cannot wait until they start slapping the labels on their sugary products to promote fast weight loss. I really think this is going to be the nail in the coffin for the American population and their health. Instead of addressing the root cause of obesity and our inability to stick to healthy diets, popularizing the sugar diet is only going to push people further down the food addiction severity scale. So if you had somebody who ranked a little bit on the food addiction symptom scale, and then they start doing those sugar fasts in an attempt to control their body weight, you're going to drive them further down the severity of the food addiction. So by the end of all of these experiments, whereby of course you're going to regain the weight later on, that's going to lead them now to be not only far more addicted to food and to sugars, but also having to deal with all of the health consequences of what they had done to their gut and to their dopamine system. What are the health consequences of folks who are doing these sugar diets and sugar fasts? As I mentioned, they're gonna strengthen their food addiction severity. They're going to increase their risk of autoimmune diseases, skin conditions, whether it's acne or psoriasis or eczema. Their gut microbiome is going to be destroyed. You're going to have an increase in candida and SIBO, which is a very hard and long journey to recover from. Gallstones, pancreatitis, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, heart attacks, strokes, nutrient deficiencies and muscle loss, hormonal imbalances, and the list goes on and on. As sad as it is to say this, my hope is that this is probably going to be the rock bottom for people, because everybody's gonna get so excited right now at the possibility of maintaining their addiction, and it's gonna drive them into their rock bottom a lot faster, and maybe at that point they will finally wake up to the magnitude of sugar addiction and its consequences. The way that I managed to lose 35 pounds and maintain it after decades of struggling with sugar addiction, food addiction, binge eating, ever since I was 12 years of age, is because I handled the addiction component and I raised my baseline dopamine activity in my brain, and I healed the dopamine damage that comes from eating sugar for a long period of time. To learn more about my protocols, check out the fitness bundle, which includes the dopamine body that has the physiological brain rehab protocol to fix dopamine damage. It also includes Monster Mindset, which has the mental aspect of how to raise D2 receptors or the dopamine receptors and fix the dopamine damage. And it also has dopamine body in there, which goes over the basics of what you need to do to lose weight while healing the brain at the same time and targeting the root cause of cravings and the root cause of the inability to stick to a meal plan. And if you're interested in coaching, you can check out my website at drzaldivar.com/coaching and drzaldivar.com/group coaching, and I will send you a free copy of my guide, which is the diet that I currently follow, which is the Carnivore Diet Challenge Guide, when you sign up to my newsletter at drzaldivar.com/newsletter. I hope you found this information helpful. Please share it with a friend or family member who has been hijacked back again into their addiction, trying to protect their drug, and you see them slowly destroying their health on this sugar fast/sugar diet craze. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.